welcome back to another video. My name is Amanda and this is Amanda's Kitchen. In today's video, we're gonna be making 4 no-bake energy ball recipes, 2 of which I'm gonna be using the food processor and then 2 of which I'm just gonna be mixing by hand. I just wanted to give a little bit of a variety and options in case you don't have those appliances at home. You could definitely substitute different ingredients if you'd like. These are just the ones that I've found best. As always, I will link the recipes for each recipe in the description box below. So the first one we're going to be making is a cranberry pistachio energy ball that's sweetened with dates and maple syrup. The second recipe is going to be a lemon poppy seed energy ball, which was so good, perfect for summer. And then we'll also be making a peanut butter chocolate chip and then a blueberry muffin flavored energy ball. So let me know what you guys think of these recipes or what your favorite go-to energy ball recipe is in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get to mixing. So for this first recipe, we're going to be making pistachio cranberry energy balls, and the first thing we want to do is roast our cashews and our oats. I'm going to use the air fryer, so I'm going to do for about 2 minutes at 350 since the air fryer cooks faster, and then stir and then check it out. But if you're using the oven, you could do 350 for 8 to 10 minutes and just stirring and tossing halfway through to prevent burning and even toasting. Then for our mix-ins, we're going to mix our flaxseed and our water together just to give that an opportunity to kind of gel up. Now that our oats and our pistachios are done, we can combine everything in the food processor. So we're going to use our pitted dates, our flax egg, some maple syrup, vanilla extract, and I decided to kind of pulse this up first just to give the dates the opportunity to break down since they were the biggest component per se of this dish. Then after the dates and liquid ingredients have turned into a paste, you're going to add your toasted oats and cashews as well as some cinnamon and pulse that again until everything is nice and combined. You will have to stop periodically to scrape down the sides of the food processor and just kind of blitz together until you feel like you've reached the consistency that you like. If you don't have a food processor, you can always use a fork and mash the wet ingredients together first and then chop up the nuts. You'll just have kind of like a thicker, crunchier consistency for your energy balls. And then the final step, we're going to mix together our pistachios, cranberries, and chocolate chips. And you just want to pulse this a few times because you don't want to completely kind of like obliterate these components. We want these to still be chunks. So I just did this a few times until I reached the consistency that I liked and scraped down the sides of the food processor as needed. It is a pretty sticky dough and it did start to seize up, so I kind of just was like, well, I think this is good. And then I decided to use my small cookie scoop to scoop out the proper portion for these energy balls and then rolled them up and put them on a baking tray. The full ingredients recipe list for this recipe will be linked in the description box below. It is by Pickup Line, so it is a vegan-friendly dish. And these are so good as a quick breakfast or just a snack. So let me know if you guys tried these below, but these are bomb and these are one of my favorites that are on repeat in my house. All right, this next recipe is perfect for summer, lemon poppy seed energy bites. This recipe is from My Bowl. So to begin, we're gonna start with our oats and we're gonna process those first just to turn them into kind of like an oat flour type deal. And then add our cashews and pulse that until they're pretty broken down. We don't want any big chunks in these ones. We're gonna add our maple syrup, some lemon juice, followed by lemon zest, and some vanilla extract, and then cashew butter. So these are going to act as kind of our binders in this recipe, and just kind of adding that all in until it forms a nice dough. This one comes together pretty quickly. Always the option to stop and scrape down the sides of the food processor if you need to, just to ensure that things are not getting stuck to the side and then everything is fully incorporated. And then the final ingredient is the poppy seeds, and you could take this dough out and mix them in, but I just pulsed the food processor a few times just to kind of combine everything, but you don't want to overmix it. And then same situation here, I'm using the cookie scoop to portion out my batter and roll it into little bite-sized balls. The combination of lemon, poppy seeds, and cashew butter was so satisfying. These are subtly sweet, not too sweet, but they were so good. A perfect light afternoon snack and just a nice summer treat. Like, lemon poppy seed is my jam, so I hope you guys liked this one. A recipe is also linked in the description box below. These next two recipes are no-bake energy balls. These are going to be the chocolate peanut butter. So we're gonna start with honey. You can easily use agave or maple syrup instead, and some natural peanut butter. And you're gonna wanna combine these in a small bowl first and kind of stir them together, because these are our wet ingredients. And I wanted to have a couple options if you didn't have a food processor. So next we're gonna stir in our oats and get everything nice and combined. And we don't wanna forget to add a little bit of salt just to kind of combat all of the sweetness we have going on here. And these are pretty loose compared to the first two options, but they're still just as delicious. I also added just a little drip of vanilla just to kind of round out everything. And I thought that was a good addition to the recipe. And then tossing in our chocolate chips. Then we're gonna refrigerate this for about 30 minutes and then repeat the process. I thought this would still work using the cookie scoop, but honestly, this dough was really loose even after being chilled. So I kind of just decided to not do that and use a spoon and then wet my hands so the batter wouldn't stick, and then just kind of wipe my hands off on that wet paper towel between each like rolling situation. And that worked out really, really well, just because the batter wasn't like held together as much as the first two recipes. And I believe that's because of just the solid oats instead of having like oat flour for these, but they were still like totally good and delicious, like a perfect like sweet snack, like candy bar situation. I mean, come on, look at that. Delicious. I'm so happy about this. I'll definitely be making these again for sure. I even thought of maybe doing like marshmallows, like some more vibes, but maybe next time. But these are not vegan if you use the honey, but they can be made vegan if you use maple syrup or agave. Just note the difference in the sweetnesses. Agave is considerably sweeter, which will take us right into our next recipe, which we are going to do blueberry muffin bites. And for this one, I used cashew butter and agave. I just thought that would be a really good combination with the blueberries. Now, I did not take into consideration how much sweeter the agave was, so I would probably half the amount in the recipe if you use the agave. So again, with this recipe, we're going to mix the wet ingredients, so in this case the cashew butter, the agave, and the vanilla extract until we get a nice little paste there. Stir in our oats until everything is nice and combined. And then for this recipe, we are still going to add a little bit of salt, but we're also going to add a sprinkle of cinnamon to kind of give it a nice vibe. I think that's a very muffiny vibe with the cinnamon there. I love cinnamon, so honestly, I'll put cinnamon in anything. And then instead of the chocolate chips this time, we are going to add freeze-dried blueberries. So you could probably modify this with any kind of dried fruit that you like, but we're doing blueberry muffin action, which I think blueberry and lemon, it was so fun to eat them together. So this time I didn't even try the cookie scoop since it didn't really work before. So I'm just using my hands to form little balls. Again, using a wet paper towel in between each one to kind of wipe off the goo and keep them from sticking. And let me tell you, these were probably my favorite if they weren't so sweet. So I definitely would cut back on the agave personally, but if you like them really sweet, then these are like dessert right here. So enjoy. So I really hoped that you got some inspiration, recipes for both of these no bake, no machine required energy balls. And that is a wrap. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I really appreciate you taking time to cook with me or, well, no bake with me today. I hope that you got some snack inspiration from this video, and I would just love to hear what you think. If you tried any of these recipes, if you did any substitutions, how you tweaked them, or if you have another recipe that you'd like to try. I am really liking these kind of no-bake, quick mix together snacks. It is a good option to get in some healthier ingredients instead of going to like a store-bought granola bar, or let's be honest, like a candy bar if you're craving something sweet. But I really like the combination of oats and nuts and dried fruit in all of these. So I'd love to hear what you guys think too. With that being said, you know the spiel. If you liked this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate you guys being here with me and giving me the opportunity to share this content. So I'm really enjoying creating this for you guys, and I just love to hear from you. So I will let you get on with the rest of your day, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye for now.